Welcome to bexbugoutsurvivor. It's another birthday unwrapping in the woods, or in this case in a field. This is what Mrs. Bex has got me for my birthday. I know what it is. It's not the location I first wanted. We're not a million miles away from the main highway. I've just borrowed a farmer's field for a couple of hours or however long it takes to set this up. Okay, let's dive straight into the pack. Get it out, get it up. I can have a brew and I can start hunting and scouting for a new location. First outing I've had for a bit. This is it. This is the Mil-Tec teepee, 3-4 people. So I'm going to very carefully open this up. Oh, something happening in here. Let's get this out. There you have it. Show you a quick picture of it. So, the reason I wanted this for my birthday is because I want to make a hot tent teepee. It's big in Canada, places of America, anywhere where it's cold, where we can apply a stove jack into the fabric of the wall of the tent, and then we can make or purchase a wood stove, a wood burning stove that goes through the side of the tent, and that is good for winter camping. Now, because of the weight of this, I shouldn't need such a big sleeping bag. I've also bought some pegs as well, better pegs. Just want to see what I have in it first. I have a set of poles. I don't know the dimensions of this. I've only seen it as a picture. Okay, give me a second. Okay, I'm going to start with the pole section here. There seems to be a row of holes with a snap here, and I suppose I choose what kind of height I want for the tent. I'm only hoping I'm doing some of this right. Well, it doesn't go on that one, it must go on this one. And already it's looking quite a tall pole. I'm wondering if I've bit off more than I can chew with this size of tent. Wow, yeah, this will make a good hot tent. Put the pole down and get the canvas out and just stake it out. That's just it pegged out, just on the corners here. I'm going to give you a comparison now of just how big this is. It's far from being pitched yet. I have some sort of poles and extra pegs. If you have a look in here, single skin has ventilation all the way around in the form of these mesh here, and also clear windows here, which we'll have a look at later. Just really want to get out of the wind for a bit, and somewhere I'm sure I've poured myself a brew this morning. These 5 solid fiberglass poles, I assume somehow I'm to peg the corners up to make a standing wall. and extra pegs here, and I have lots of guy outs to do as well. I'm just going to check up here to make sure I've done at least that right. Well, I haven't got any further with the teepee, but what I have got is the Wild O big boy folder and an old sock with hopefully a hot brew in. I'm just going to see if there's anyone about before we get settled in. Wait there. Should be alright. Let me see how to do this now. It's a nice strong brew. I've got my floor mat out as well. I bought that with me. It's just from a wagon. You put it in the windscreen in the summer. Keep the inside of your cab nice and cool. Also works brilliantly as a ground system. It's a reflector underneath, and there's lots of controversy whether the aluminum stays on the bottom or on your body. I've used this type of thing for a couple of years, and I always have the silver reflector on the floor, so I don't make this fabric, the green fabric, cold. If I did it the other way around, the green fabric would be on the floor and cold, and all I'll be lying on is the silver reflector. And for what good that is, I may as well just get myself a roll of tin foil and lie on that. A nice warm birthday cup of tea. I'm going to figure out where them 5 poles go. It's pointless showing you anymore until I've figured out more. It's not a perfect pitch either, it needs all tightening up. I'll be back to you as soon as I've had this. Well, the good news is them corner pegs look pretty easy. Here is that fiberglass pole. It's mounted from the inside and just hooks up under this sewn in tab here. So all the corners can be strung up from the inside. Then it only leaves these guys to put out, and I hope this is right. But I'll be changing these cord locks out for much better, or even a prusik knot somewhere along here maybe. Let's see what I've got on here on the outside. A little see-through window, and further up a mesh. All this can be rolled right out. So it's this that's going to make my new hot tent, and inside will come a wood stove. I've already made the wood stove. That's going to be on an upcoming episode. It's pretty easy to make, basic tools, but before you do any of that, somewhere in here I've got to fit a stove jack, a fireproof outlet for the flue pipe. And I have had an old tent and I managed to burn it down by not having a stove jack. All I thought is, well, it's only going to be 30 seconds of burn. I'm not going to burn the tent down in that time. As you can imagine, I managed it. I managed to burn the tent down. So I have a practice tent, which is only about 30 or 40 quid, which I'm going to try out all the different stove jacks that I know. So if the tent does burn down, it's going to be an old one and not my new birthday present. Okay, I'm going to look for a second location, somewhere a little more private, even if that's just in the back garden. There's tracks coming right through here, and these are fresh. And pretty soon the farmer's going to want to come and feed his livestock. And I don't want that thing there when he's bringing a tractor through. Like I said, it shouldn't be here. I'm sure there's another private place we can find, but trust me, I have been everywhere this morning. Everywhere is waterlogged, everywhere has either been hacked down by the tree cutters. The land that I camp is just not there anymore. Well, half hour down the road and I found this pitch here. So it should be worth a quick setup anyway. One tent, I brought with me a Tyvek ground sheet, that's what the pegs are on. I have the aluminium poles, and in the bag I have them corner poles made of the fiberglass. So the actual construct of the tent took 6 pegs. The pole, the housings, top and bottom, about 6 minutes, maybe less. I need the inner walls putting up and then just guying out. So that's the next job. Let's have a look at that. Into there, push that in, tie it off if I want. Bottom. Do this all the way around. Them corner poles, fiberglass. I haven't tied all of them in, but that didn't take more than a minute and a half. So we're well under 10 minutes to pitching this. Only need to guy it out now. So the main guy out comes from both 1/3 and the other third down, anchored down, and also there's a corner anchor which runs down here as well. And that gives it a rigid support here. This is one of 4 or 5, I think. Plastic mesh there, and the mesh there. That can be rolled up, so I have plenty of light coming in. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic windows, 4 mesh, and all be sealed down there on Velcro, all the way round. Okay, the price on that is coming in at just under £90, about 89 quid. It's from Mil-Tec. It says 4-man. I think 3 comfortably with camp cots, with roll mats and no storage for gear. Yes, 4. I'm going to use it just so I can have my own camp cot put out in it, and on the other side of the tent I'll have to make a fireproof flooring and a fireproof jack on the side, and then I've got either a 1 or a 2-man tent which can throw wood into a stove, and that is going to be warm all night. It's 4.5 kilos, but don't worry about it. It might sound a lot. Remember, if you want to make it into a hot tent, then there's scope for you to leave the sleeping bag at home and just bring out the tent. So it's a 3-part project. The stove for it, the wood burner, I've already made and filmed that, so that'll be out in the new year, which will, if you're watching this late, is the 2018 episode. You should find the wood burner stove there, by which time I should have fitted a stove jack in here, and that will make the heat proofing for the flue. There's not much more to it. Like I said, hopefully won't need a sleeping bag, even in the winter, if I can warm up such a big area of space with the size of wood burner that I've made. That remains to be seen. I don't know how many BTUs my little homemade wood stove is going to throw out to heat this. This for 80 quid, this is a huge amount of kit. There's a lot here. There's a lot of quality here. It went up really easy. The whole pitch, after I undone all the guys, was probably less than 10 minutes single-handedly, including the centre pole, the guy out, and the corner fiberglass poles. 10 minutes. As you can see from it, it's not going to be such a low profile setup, but for a wild camp like this, you can see where I am. Let's spin around here. It's on just a public footpath. There's a beautiful little waterfall, and actually the sun's just going down from when we finished, or started filming rather, up there. A lot of tent for your money there, I think. A lot of people are going to cry that they can't carry 4.5 kilos, but that's minus a volume of a sleeping bag. My pattern 90 is about 3 kilos. Imagine leaving 3 kilos at home and just bringing out 4.5 kilos of tent. That means I'm only carrying 1.5 kilos so far. Then the weight of the wood stove, your water, your rations. It's a very doable thing. I wouldn't carry this in the Bergen. I would rather use something like this. So this is it's a 100-litre holdall. I find them a lot more convenient to carry a tent if you're putting the tent on the inside. I will tell you something. The tent itself, I've tried putting back into its stuff sack, and as usual, they don't give you enough stuff sack to put your tent back in. Later on in 2018, I've got a great episode full of tricks and tips of how to store tents in compression bags that are obviously too small in the manufacturing. This is more or less today's episode, December the 5th. Tomorrow, December the 6th, is my birthday, but I'm in hospital tomorrow, and I shouldn't imagine I'm going to be much in the mood for doing this episode. So hopefully I can get this episode out, recorded and edited before December the 6th. It's a great little tent. Have a look, even on eBay, Mil-Tec teepee tents, 4-person, around 80-90 quid. You're going to get yourself a real bargain. Okay, and thanks for joining me on that one. It's been a lot of fun putting that one up. I've got all my woolen togs on. I'm probably too hot. Some fresh water here. I'm going to boil up and get another brew on the go. Until next time, take care of yourself, and I'll see you pretty soon.